What's left of Dereya tells of the horrors that unfolded here. Every corner scarred by a ruthless regime's fight for survival. This Damascus suburb rose up peacefully, demanding freedom. More than a decade on, a shattered Dereya and its people are finally free. This was for our children, Firas tells me. It's so they don't have to live under the tyrant's rule. Her story of loss and pain so unfathomable for us, yet so common in this place, that for years endured some of the most brutal tactics of the Assad regime, besieged, starved, and bombed into surrender.
Firas says they came out asking for freedom, and they were met with bullets and tanks. She says, we're not terrorists, and they did this. And imagine, she says, there were women and children living in these homes.
So many men like her husband Mazen detained and disappeared. 2 years later, a released prisoner told her he saw him in jail. They beat him so much, his wounded leg was infected. He was in so much pain, she says. There was no medical care in prison, and because of all he was going through, he lost his mind. The prisoner last saw him taken away crying and screaming hysterically. She went from one detention center to the next searching for him until they broke the news to her in the most cruel of ways. They handed her his belongings and told her to register his death. There are no words to describe how I was feeling when I left, she says. I was holding on to the hope he would be released and our family would be reunited. They didn't even give me his body. This is the last photo she has of Mazen and his youngest boy. Ghaith doesn't remember his dad. Noor was 6 and so attached to his father. Every day he would wait by the door for him to come back. When I would hear someone calling Baba, Dad, it was torment for me, Firas says. What did these children do to be deprived of their father? She has to be strong for her boys, she says. She is all they have. Her father also disappeared into the black holes of Assad's jails. Like her husband, their only crime, she says, was being from Dereya.
She says, I'm just one of thousands and thousands of stories, and that's just in Dereya. And just imagine how many more there are across Syria.
With the end of this dark chapter in their history, a new life, a new Syria emerges from the rubble of their broken lives. Jumana Karachi, CNN, Dereya, Syria.